What's up, y'all? This your girl, Jay Renee with Prison Ride Radio. I hope that you're doing well. On the phone this evening, we got a brother by the name of Michael Jones. He has a lot that he has to say, so we're going to jump right into it, find out what's going on with him, and hopefully y'all will be in the know of the things that be happening behind closed doors. All right. What's up, bro? How you doing? Good evening.
Good evening to you, too. I'm doing all right, holding up, maintaining.
All right, for sure. I appreciate you. Go ahead.
I'm in here, trying to get everybody to understand what really goes down in situations when their family members be getting locked up on serious charges, and sometimes it don't be all what people think they be, because they be reading newspapers, and everything you read in the newspapers and see on the news, it just don't be facts.
Yeah, that's true. Let me ask you something real quick before we get into what you want to tell us. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you from.
Michael Jones. My name is Michael Jones. Right now, I reside in, I'm locked up at James T. Vaughn Correctional Center in Smyrna, Delaware. But I'm originally from New York, from Brooklyn. And I grew up a little bit, too, in Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut. So best of both worlds. Been around. But, coming up, I, came to Delaware on a little summer vacation, and things went all the way bad. I was a kid. I was 17 years old. And I was targeted. By, corrupt government officials to take the fall for a case they couldn't solve.
Right.
So now I sit here, 22 years later, they trumped up all the charges, falsified all types of evidence against me, and, I'm here to let y'all know in detail what's going on.
22 years is a long time to be behind the G-wall, especially for a crime that you didn't commit. So how have you been, standing tall through that?
Oh, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. Like, in the beginning stages, like, first of all, you frustrated because you locked up for something you didn't do. Then they trying to tell you, basically, they take you through all this long, drawn-out process of trials and all this crazy stuff. I was facing the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? They voted 11-1 to put me to death, but I ain't get death because I was a juvenile at the time of the crime. But knowing I ain't do it, and I'm trying to explain in the best way I knew how to the courts and everybody that I'm innocent. Like, y'all got me going through all this. It was just brought about a frustration. So once they hit me with the time and they wound up giving me 3 life sentences. And it was just like, as soon as I came in, like, I had a non-caring attitude about everything. Like, I'm like, look what these people just did to me. I'm not trying to hear nothing. I wasn't trying to hear nothing. None of that. They trying to tell me I'm in jail for the rest of my life. I don't have no hope. I don't got nothing going on. Like, they taking me away from my family members. They basically kidnapped me from my childhood. They basically kidnapped me, basically killed me. They killed the kid in me. I'm a grown man now. The kid in me died. They did what they wanted to do. They killed me. You know what I'm saying? By what they did. Now I'm a grown man. So, you know what I'm saying? My childhood gone. You know what I'm saying? I lost a lot. Families, friends. You know what I'm saying? All types of stuff. Like, but inside here, trying to hold up, it was rough. It was rough. You out of town. You know what I'm saying? You in a place where they don't even look at you as a human being. They don't look at you as a human being. They look at you as a number, an inmate. You scum. You nobody. So that's how they carry you. That's how they treat you. They talk down to you. They degrade you. You know what I'm saying? They try to dehumanize you. It's basically like, there's been so much going on inside here. Like, I almost lost my life in here. I had to go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, I was in a shoe. It's called Supermax, where guards, playing your food, do all types of stuff that people don't think they do. And, I happened to get sick. Went to the hospital. They had to remove some of my intestines. You know what I'm saying? This is all public record. You know what I'm saying? And I almost died from somebody putting something in my food. Now, only one person was sliding my trays through the flat. That was the correctional officers. So go figure. So I've been through a lot of here. It ain't been peaches and cream, but you know what I'm saying? It made me who I am today, and I'm satisfied with who I am today. And to change anything, I wouldn't change nothing because I'm satisfied with who I am today. I can look in the mirror. I'm standing, I'm healthy, you know what I'm saying, and I'm fighting a good cause.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely have been through a lot, bruh. What you just shared with us and the things that I got to hear from the interview that you sent me with the woman out there that's doing work as well. Her name's Simone, correct? I'm going to make sure I get her name right.
Yes, Simone Love Harris.
All right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She took the time out, her busy day. She got a lot going on, 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? She got kids. She took the time out of her day when I first got in contact with her. Simone Love Harris from Delaware, from redmediaradio.com, is on the internet, and I told her my story. Now, when I told her the story, she couldn't believe it, but it sounded interesting.
It's a lot.
So
it's a lot, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm talking about 2,000-3,000 pages, documentation, certified court documentation. So she told me, after I explained my whole situation to her, send me the paperwork, because she didn't believe me in the beginning. She'll tell you that, and we laugh about it now. So she was like, it sounds like a movie. So I sent her all my paperwork bit by bit, and she starts to read it. Once she starts to read it, she starts to realize, like, hold up, this boy telling the truth.
Right.
But how many people gonna look through 3,000 pages of paperwork?
Right. Yeah, we definitely want to get that queen a shout out for that. I said we definitely want to get that queen a shout out for that. So a shout out to her.
She's the greatest. She's great. She's great. She's great, man. She has a lot of heart. She has a lot of heart, and she's not afraid of anything. She knows what happened. She's seen it with her own 2 eyes. She read it page for page. Certified court documents of some basically of a crime being committed by government officials.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right into it, bro. We gotta let the people know. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, I
All right,
can.
so let's start from the beginning. How did you end up incarcerated for 22 years for something you didn't do?
All right, so it was just a rush to solve a crime by a detective that was a liar. He just wanted some stripes. He just wanted to move up the rank. So he just took whatever that seemed to fit but didn't fit and made it fit. I was young. He knew I was black. He knew I was a minority from, poverty-stricken background. He knew it was up. So when he couldn't find or get the case solved, and mind you, he solved it in less than 24 hours. This is a double homicide / robbery / all types of stuff going on. And he solved the whole case within 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? He just solved it. Perfect, done deal, it's over. But he just made up everything. And the stuff, he didn't made up, he made up along as the years went by.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I sat waiting to go to trial for 4 years. It took them 4 years just to bring me to trial while they sat and made up evidence. You know what I mean?
Right. So let's talk about that and your legal team. So did you have good legal representation at this time?
No, the legal representation was yacht. My first set of lawyers when I first went in, first and foremost, my cousin came down here from New York to try to hire an attorney named Joe Hurley. Joe Hurley wanted $50,000. He said he wanted half up front, $25,000. So my cousin was on the move to come down here and give him the $25,000. So when my cousin came down here in the beginning stages to give him the $25,000, Joe Hurley told my cousin, listen, I'm not even going to waste your time, and I'm not even going to take your money. They saying he did it, there's no way out. This case is a big case, and I don't want nothing to do with it.
Right. So let me ask you.
Cousin, he like.
Go ahead, bro.
I didn't go ahead.
I was gonna ask you. So how did you even make contact with this detective in the first place?
Oh, I never made contact with him. He heard that I used to hang in a certain area with somebody else that they said was involved in the crime.
Okay.
Well, I was in a group. I was in a group, in that certain area with somebody else that they said was involved in the crime. That's what they initially said. They initially said somebody else was somebody else.
Okay.
I wasn't involved in no type of way. So when he couldn't get the somebody else that they were saying, he just took the next thing with it and just picked the kid. That's what he did. He picked a little kid. Okay. He knew he had to win. He could do whatever he wanted to do.
Is this detective still? This detective is still working, or like what was the result of anything?
This detective is still working. Robert Cunningham, he's still working. He moved from Wilmington. He's now in Dover. My case is in 1999. I just read paperwork from 2020, and he done rigged up somebody else's case in Dover, Delaware. Marquise Mack. He rigged up his case. So I just read his name again, 20-something years later.
Right.
He's still doing the same thing. He ain't stopped. And in my case, in particular, he falsified the arrest warrant to get me locked up. That's how I got locked up.
Okay, so tell us about that.
A person that was in ICU, unconscious with a bullet in his head, with tubes down his throat, in ICU, he said he spoke to him real fast in them conditions, and he told him that I shot him and somebody else. He said my name, my nickname, and I was good friends with his brother. And that was the basis of the arrest warrant.
Okay.
Mind you, I knew this wasn't true, 100% facts. So when I did...
You have 1 minute remaining.
Don't even worry about it. I'm calling back. When I did get locked up, I was like, I need to see that whole statement when he was in the hospital. Come to find out, he wakes up out the coma. The reason he did that, he thought he was going to die. Mm-hmm. That would have been his dying declaration. I would have been done. He wakes up out the coma on tape, and they ask him, do you know who shot you? On tape, he says no. Do you know the person's name? On tape, he says no. The detective falsified the affidavit for probable cause for my arrest. That's the only reason I'm in jail. That's the only reason I'm in jail. And a lot more happened, too. A lot more happened.
All right, bro. I'm glad that you was able to come back. The last thing we talked about was how the officer pretty much got this or doctored up a statement from someone who was in a coma, unable to respond. The man woke up and he said he didn't know who shot him and never said your name or anything like that. So after that, what happened?
So after that, he woke up. You know what I'm saying? They questioned him from the beginning. Do you know why you here? He was in the hospital. He still had like IVs and stuff hooked up to him on the tape because they showed me the tape.
Right.
And they was like, do you know why you here? And they transcribed it too, so it's both. Okay. Do you know why you here? He's like, yeah, I was shot. And do you know who shot you? He said, no. You know the person's name? He said, no. So I'm talking about all through the whole interview, the entire interview. He never said my name, never said I'm good friends with his brother, never said he knew me, nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Through the whole entire interview when they was questioning him, nothing. Never said nothing. So the detective basically just falsified and fabricated affidavit for probable cause for arrestment to get me arrested.
So that was something that was never thrown out?
Nah, it was never thrown out. I tried on my own to get it thrown out, you know what I'm saying, submitted motions, but the judge kept saying I had to go through the lawyers. And the lawyers wouldn't file it because they was all in cahoots together. Unbeknownst to me, I understood that, they was against me. I knew that, but I ain't just know to what extent. You feel me?
Okay.
I knew that. I was like, why they not gonna file a motion? The lawyer talking about, we just gonna deal with it at trial. Nah, ain't no deal with it at trial. The law say if I could show a preponderance of evidence that he falsified and fabricated his affidavit for probable cause for arrest, I'm entitled to a Franks hearing. In Delaware, it's called a Franks hearing. You know what I'm saying? To challenge that. And they would not give me that Franks hearing for nothing. I even got memos because they gave me all the paperwork, the lawyers. I got memos that the lawyers made a mistake and sent me when they was writing each other, talking about, Michael Jones is on to something. he wrote me something and it had some interesting facts in it. The interesting facts was I was never ID'd. That's what they was talking about. And I told them to file that motion to get my case thrown out, but they never did.
Okay, so I want to talk about something else. So I want to make sure everybody's clear that this detective falsified documents, which got you arrested.
Mm-hmm.
The man that he says made these statements woke up from his coma-induced state and said the exact opposite of what they said. They didn't throw it out. You're still incarcerated. Your lawyers failed to put this motion in for you with no good, tangible reason. You didn't know what was going on, but now you found out that they was in cahoots. Now, I know you was telling me about Kathleen Jennings had to get involved, and that still wasn't enough for things to go the way that the law says. So give a little more insight on that.
Oh, well, all right. Now, fast forward, my judge, Peggy Abelman, she's a Delaware judge. She's not a judge out here no more, but her name was Peggy Abelman. She was just vicious. Like, I got numerous pretrial transcripts of her she's just vicious. Like, she's just vicious, mean. So, she, during my trial, she gets caught in the restaurant talking about killing me, right? She's in the restaurant with her husband and, like, several other people, you know, Delaware Supreme Court justices and other judges on the bench. And she's crying. Two people overhear her crying, drinking shot after shot of liquor, they said. She was drinking shot after shot of liquor, crying, saying, that mother effer think he can get away with this? That mother effer gonna die. I don't care what nobody say, that mother effer gonna die. I don't care what the jury say. I don't care what the lawyers say. He gonna effing die. I got the last say, and he gonna effing die. So I found out about that from the lawyers. So the lawyers, something happened on a sidebar where the lawyers felt the judge was insulting him. So once that happened, he already was feeling some type of way. So now
all of a sudden he want to tell the truth and expose it because he feels some type of way.
So when that information came about, he did that to get back at the judge. You know what I'm saying? And Kathleen Jennings, the now Attorney General, in 2005, she was a criminal defense lawyer. And her word is basically gold in Delaware, where she says go. So back in 2005, she interviewed the two people in the restaurant to assess their credibility to see if they were telling the truth. She said they was telling the truth. The judge said that. So fast forward, she told the lawyers to file a motion for the judge to recuse herself and a motion for the judge for a new trial, for me to get a new trial. Because of what the judge said. You already know what she did to make sure I got found guilty. So my judge, they sent it to another judge, but, you know, my judge, Peggy Abelman, was above the law, like radical. She took it from the other judge and denied it. She denied the motion to recuse herself, and she denied the motion for a new trial. And in her response, she just was rambling. I'm talking about a whole bunch of just making up stuff or about why she denying it, and, you know, in the restaurant she ain't say all that. She was mad at the lawyers, not me. She denied any of that stuff that basically happened. And she said the reason my trial went the way it did because my lawyers was too busy worrying about their pocketbook and not my case. So once she put that in, the lawyers put a motion in for a re-argument. That's a motion for re-argument on the situation. So when they did that, the lawyer come back and says, I didn't even want Michael Jones' case. The court said it would be a big personal favor from her. You know, basically the judge promised the lawyer a big personal favor for my case. It's in black and white.
That sounds suspicious.
What I seen, So I'm like, I'm reading the motions. I'm like, what the hell going on?
Right.
So now everything coming together. You know what I'm saying? Like now, the whole time they was in cahoots together. She promised him he didn't even want the case. He said he couldn't even take my case because he had too many cases. He had a couple other capital cases, and he couldn't even put no work in on my case. But he took it anyway because the judge they made their little backdoor deal. That's what goes on in Delaware. The backdoor deal
Yeah.
that people hear about,
Yeah.
that nobody got no proof. I got the proof that they do the backdoor deals. Judges and lawyers, they do backdoor deals
Yeah.
for cases.
They do.
And my case is one of them.
Delaware is where I'm from, and I'm familiar with how they move, and how they move is very crooked and janky. So I want to ask you this, because I want to make it clear to everybody. The person that was killed, who was that? Because it's like, why is everyone so gung-ho on something happening behind this person?
All right. One person was a Jamaican guy, and his girlfriend, who was the granddaughter of a state representative.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
So that's why even the lawyers told me from the beginning, they don't care if a big gray elephant sitting in my seat. I'm gonna be found guilty.
Wow.
Bottom line. So nobody even would dare try to say anything. They just let them handle me. Nobody spoke up for me. Nobody did nothing, because at the end of the day, everybody was friends.
Right.
And somebody had to go down for that. No matter what, who, when, what, just somebody had to go down for that. And what's so interesting about this whole situation, the state representative at the time was alive. And after my trial, because she sat through my alleged co-defendant trial in 2003, and she sat through my trial in 2005. And she said something, and I wish she would have elaborated on it, but she spoke the truth in the newspaper. She said, the justice system is not fair. She said that because she sat through a whole trial in 2003 and heard all the witnesses in court basically almost exonerate me. When I didn't go to trial, that was my last co-defendant trial. When they asked questions about me, they didn't know me, didn't know what I looked like, all the witnesses. Right. In 2005, them same witnesses came to my trial, and now they knew me, they knew what I looked like, everything. The whole testimony switched. And she knew what happened. Right. She knew what happened.
So, was there what else happened in your trial that you feel ended up with you being convicted? Is there anything else that you want to point out?
Yes, every state's witness. My last co-defendant went in 2003. I went in 2005. Every last witness committed perjury. The prosecutor suborned the perjury. He told them to commit the perjury. He told them to. It's in black and white. It's in black. Nobody goes from not knowing you, don't know what you look like, and then all these years later, there you go right there. They know you. It don't go like that. It don't go like. And he had once my trial, because I thought I was going home. When I was going to trial, I thought I was going home. I was like, yeah, like I'm going home. Like this is it. It's a wrap. Like I know I'm going home. Man, every last witness got up there and changed everything they ever said. For instance, the guy that was in the hospital that got shot, that said he didn't know who shot him, didn't know the name or none of that. His whole testimony, he said the house on tape. He was like, when he was in the hospital, he couldn't really see. The house was dark. The people used a lighter. They had a lighter. That was the only light in the house. When I got the child, my child, he said, nah, he could see fine. He turned on all the lights in the house. He could see fine. Like major changes. Major changes. Like, I was like, I couldn't even believe it. Like, they fixed that thing up real nice. I couldn't believe it.
I'm sure that had you flabbergasted for sure.
Yeah, so, it messed me up to this day. That's all a lot of stuff about my life before this, I done forgot. Like I was so messed up when I got locked up for this. Like in the beginning, like I had to get myself together. I had to like gather myself. The first 10 years, 11 years, I had to gather myself. Like I was messed up, like bad. Like I was messed up. I'm talking about they prescribed me Elavil, Vespadol. I couldn't think straight. I'm talking about I couldn't believe what happened to me. Like I was really lost. But I shook it. You know what I'm saying? By speaking to one of the older brothers, I shook it off. And I started reading. I started writing. I started educating myself. You know what I'm saying? I started, you know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to do with nothing unless it's my freedom. And I kept that mind state. You know what I'm saying? And I've just been digging and digging and digging and digging. And now, this day, a couple lawyers discouraged me from going to the media. A few years back, they discouraged me. Now I'm at the point where, like, what, they gonna come try to kill me or something because I'm exposing this? Well, they do. I already died in my eyes. I'm talking to you. I'm looking through the eyes of a dead man. That's how I feel. So it don't even matter. This for the guys. Now this for the guys. This for everybody in the state of Delaware that they did this to, that don't got no evidence. Here's the evidence. This is what they do. This is how they conduct their court system. This is how their court system is ran in the state of Delaware. Judges do favors with lawyers, prosecutors, detectives falsify everything. They not to be trusted. The newspaper is on their side. The newspaper is strictly, the media is on their side. You never hear the defense side of the case and what's going on. You only hear the prosecutor's side. Why?
Right.
Because they all friends.
Right.
They all friends. The Delaware News Journal, they all friends. I sent the guy reporting on my case when he put all these lies in the paper about me. I sent him a full copy of all my paperwork. It cost me $72. A full copy, and I told him, "You read this." I don't know. This was in 2006. Esteban Pera is his name. I said, "You read this. The stuff you're reporting, I don't know where you got your information from, but here go the facts." I never heard from him. That was in 2006. I never heard from him.
That's crazy.
Never heard from him. They're trying to keep everything under wraps.
They do.
Because they know this. They know this has to. They have to throw these cases out, man. These convictions that Peggy Abelman was involved in, that judge, the detective Robert Cunningham, the prosecutor Steve Walker, you know what I'm saying, the lawyers, Jerome Capone, Kevin O'Connell, man, they got to throw out everybody's case that was convicted if these people was involved in their cases, man. They got to throw them out, man. They words can't be trusted. It's everything is tainted. Anything that they names on is tainted. This is what they do. It's proven fact. It's on record. It's certified court documents. You know what I'm saying? It's public. It's what you call it, freedom, public information. It's you can go look it up yourself. Look up my federal habeas, my federal Michael Jones versus state, federal Delaware Federal District Court, federal habeas. I put a federal habeas in, and I put every document inside my federal habeas. So whenever somebody print my federal habeas off the computer, all these documents pop up. Everything. Arrest warrants, medical records from the victim, everything.
Right.
Every single thing is in it. Every time you print it off. So ain't no hiding it. There's no hiding it.
So let me ask you, did you go through the appeal process, or have you?
Yes, I did. All right. Now, when I went through the appeal process, my first step was the Rule 61 post-conviction appeal. And as you know, y'all might understand what's going on by now, that it's so much corruption. My judge, Peggy Abelman, the same one that said she gonna kill me, make sure I die, she did my appeal.
Ain't that something?
And she denied it.
Of course.
And she denied it. She did my appeal, and she denied it. I tried to send it to another judge. She took it from them, and she ruled on my appeal, and she denied it. She went as far as, when I sent it to the other judge appointed me counsel. She took this from the other judge, denied me counsel, and denied my appeal.
Wow.
She wouldn't even let me get counsel.
Right, because she
to
appeal to let you out would
You
prove that
have
she was
1
wrong.
minute remaining.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Man.
And now, one of her friends, another Delaware Supreme Court Justice Steele, denied my Delaware Supreme Court appeal. And then when I appealed that to the Federal District Court, one of the victim family members' friends that's in the paper with the victim grandmother hugging her, Justice Gregory M. Sleep, he denied my federal appeal. So it was, it was straight no law followed, no nothing. Like, it was all a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Deny. They not looking at my case.
It's like the good old boy system at work.